Hello everyone. Our topic for today is dealing with negative people. My name is Rabab Alma and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and international life coach. I actually help people deal with their depression and anxiety and move forward with their life of joy and happiness. Um, I will, until people join us, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna try to share this page, this live with my other page until people start joining us. Please let me know where are you joining me from. And let me know in your comments, do you have negative people in your lives? So negative people can be your spouse, your son, your daughter, our parent, our siblings. Because when we deal with people like an airline agent or someone else, we can just step away from them. But what can we do when they are our family members? So again, let me know in your comments where you're joining me from, and have you experienced a negativity from people around you, from your family member, friends, people close to you. So those lives are meant for general information only. They are not meant for to replace professional help or medical advice. So this is a disclaimer I need to, to put out on my lives. So we are a supremely social creature. We like to be around people. We like to be around people who are agreeing with us. For the most part, like we rather go and be with people who join our negative ideas about someone or something, rather than being with people who disagree with us. It's just easier. So we are wired to be social and to be around people and to have people who like us. We care about how people think of us. So how about if the people around us are negative? So you have to deal with their pessimism, you have to deal with their constantly discouraging your dreams. Don't do that. Don't learn this. It's too dangerous. No one really reached their dreams. This is impossible. The distrust that negative people have towards the world. And it's easy to walk away from them, from negative people, but are you gonna walk away from your son or your daughter or your spouse or your close friend? It's difficult to do that. We need to deal with this negativity. And we need to understand, the reason I'm doing this live, because I read this article on Psychology Today, and I really like the topic about dealing with negative people. But I think all of us, we have someone in our life that is negative that we need to deal with, and we need to train ourselves to be better at it and to preserve our peace and sanctuary, if you will, away from negativity. So what is the reason? What are the reasons behind negativity? Simply, it's fear. People are afraid to be disrespected by others, so they can manifest that as negativity. People are afraid, or they have fear of not being loved by loved ones, or they're afraid of what's gonna happen. So they are so terrified. If you learn scuba diving, or if you learn how to ride a motorcycle, something might happen. Something bad might happen. So it's better not to do it to start with. So it can be very limiting. And this negativity can encourage complacement and stagnation. So what are the fears that these negative people might have? First, they might feel their productivity to receive bad comments from people. So, oh, you look good today. So a negative person will look at it, oh, I don't look good the other days. So I only look good today. How about the other days? So this is how a negative person will perceive it. And judgmental. These people are judgmental, and they will actually always question the motivation behind someone's behavior or lack of someone's behavior. Like if you invited someone to a meal, if they don't really compliment it or rave about it, then they will be like, oh, they didn't like the meal, I'm not going to invite them again. So this kind of judgment. The third one is diffidence, or lack of self-esteem, or low self-esteem, if you will. The feel of helplessness, anxiety to deal with someone's life and events in their life. So they are so they come across as defeated. They don't know how to deal with different events in their lives, and they demand nature. So they don't demand a lot of performance from themselves, but they demand from other people. So you need to do this, you need to get a full mark, you need to drive a certain car, you need to, so there's always this judgment, or always this demands. Again, I mentioned about the pessimisms. So people are pessimistic. They look at the future as it's bleak, and they don't really expect a lot from their lives. So it's everything is bad, or something bad might happen. So they're always scared of what's going to happen. They also have this tendency to risk aversion. So in social settings, they're afraid. Of course, it's important to preserve our privacy, but they are so critical or worried about something being taken against them, so they will not talk, they will not really divulge any information, because this might be taken negatively, or people might look bad at me. And also, negative people can be controlling of others, how people should look, and what should they drive, or how they should present themselves to others. But they don't apply that to themselves. It's only they apply it to their spouses, to their siblings, to their children. So there's always something about what's happening in their life. Negative people will always blame others, external factors, if you will. And they have negative attitudes about most of the events or things in their life. So how to deal with that? That can be very challenging. Well, people sometimes just walk away, but of course, you can't walk away from close people in your life. So maybe an option that you can grit your teeth and accept the negativity. But then if you accept it, or you are quiet about it, then you are implying that it's okay, and you're accepting it, and their behavior will actually increase and exacerbate over time. So because things will increase or decrease based on your reaction to it. So if you are quiet about it, that means it's okay. So they will continue doing what they are doing, and you might have the aftermath of people are increasing their negative attitude, and you will just accepting it. So you're okay with it. Or there is another option of really using the opinion or arbiter, or someone to mediate between you and the negative person, a counselor, a friend, a relative, whatever it is. But this might not work also, because they might feel that they are indignant or being wronged, or someone are judging them. So they will be like more negative, and they not take it the really let me just put the charger. I forgot to charge my laptop. So they will be more negative. They will feel that someone is putting them in the spot, and it will maybe backfire. So It's important to have compassion towards negative people and understand that they are coming from a place of fear. So they're afraid of something. Having that compassion, understanding the context, might help. Also, sometimes you need to have some planning around negative people. What tips can you use to protect yourself from this negativity? Maybe you know them, they are mostly negative in the morning, so maybe you want to interact with them in the evening. Maybe they are negative when they are hungry, so interact with them when they are not hungry. So you especially if they're your spouse or your children, so you kind of know them and you know the pattern, and then you can deal with it accordingly. So you develop like this positivity, positive attitude towards their negative attitude. This can be draining sometimes. So you might want to take some time off or away from these people. Like if they are negative in the evening, maybe you can just go out and take a walk and come back and refreshed, so their negativity is not really affecting you. So you want to try to manage it. You want to be mature about it, so you show understanding. At the same time, you stick your boundaries and you don't get sucked in the negativity. So negative people are usually, they blame others. So we don't want to do the same. So we blame the negative people for them bringing our mood down. We don't want to do the same mistake. So we want to take full responsibility of our own actions, feelings, and behaviors and interaction and reactions. You might want to point it out to them that you're being negative, and not in a critical way, in a very compassionate way, but you want to show that you disagree with that, with their behavior or their attitude, or with being pessimistic. You want to point out that you have a different opinion, not with having a conflict with them, but you might want to assert yourself. I again go back to my previous live about boundaries. How much you wanna allow certain people to be in your life. So I have a question here from Gulmakai. Says, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Does negativity relate to people who are sensitive? Well, it depends. What do you mean by sensitive? Some people are sensitive, and is it sensitive to other people's comments? Are they sensitive to their own emotions? What do you mean by sensitivity? If we are affected a lot by someone else's mood, then we are giving other people power over us. We need to be always, I will thrive to be in control of our own moods and feelings. The sensitivity might be someone is sensitive to events around them or other people, so you feel other people's emotions. You want to elaborate, Gulmakai, on what you mean by sensitivity. But again, I think we need to be in control of our own emotions, in our circumstances, in our how we feel. We don't want to depend and give our power away to someone else to control how we feel or how we react to events, as I mentioned earlier. So something else, if we are noticing that someone is negative, so we recognize things when we have some of it inside of us. So I think what helps here also focusing on our own negativity and try to deal with that instead of focusing on someone else's negativity. So Gulmakai said, for example, they have a sensitive to smell and what they eat, and they complain about something smells or tastes bad according to them. Okay, so if someone is sensitive to a smell or something they are complaining about eating, so it's their responsibility to deal with it. Instead of complaining, you want to do something about it. Maybe if you are going to a restaurant and they don't like the smell, maybe they don't want to go again to that restaurant. Or maybe if you like it and they don't, so you go with someone that likes that place and maybe you go with them somewhere else. So you might want to manage it instead of like complaining. So if I know, for instance, if I go to the mall, I will have a headache if I stay there for a long time. So maybe I will change my plans and I stay less. If there is certain food that makes me sick, then I will avoid it instead of complaining. I will have different plans. Or maybe I will let my spouse go to that place that they like, and maybe with their friends, and I will go somewhere else if that place is not suitable for me, or I am sensitive to it. So it's about how we react or how we deal with certain things. Complaining does not take us anywhere. We don't accomplish anything with complaining. We wanna try to resolve the issue that's negative for us, instead of like repeating the same event or the same behavior over and over and over and continue to complain about it. We can change the behavior. We can change the event. We can change the surroundings, for instance. For instance, I know, for instance, if I go somewhere to a certain beach, I feel sick. So next time, don't go. I will go somewhere else. So it's a matter of being proactive and knowing yourself, knowing how to deal with things that bother you, and also discussing that with your spouse or with your son or with your daughter. If there is something they don't like, let's talk about it instead of complaining about it and doing it over and over and over. I don't know if this answered your question, Gul Makai. Let me know if I really got your question right. Jazakallah khair, Gul Makai. Thank you for joining and tuning in. So again, if I am noticing negativity in someone, does that mean that I have some negativity inside of me? I might want to look at myself first before talking about someone else and complaining about them changing my mood. Then I am doing like them. I am blaming external. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I did. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you, Gul Makai. So again, so if I am blaming negative people about my own negativity, then I am doing like them. I am blaming external factors for my own emotional reactivity. So I need to take responsibility of my own feelings and change the circumstances. It's my responsibility. So I cannot, the bottom line is, we cannot hold people responsible for something happening internal inside of us. So if I am feeling down, if I am not feeling well, it's not the other person's responsibility to change it for me. It's my responsibility. And I need to take action. Whatever it is, it's my own responsibility. It's not theirs. So this goes back to the idea of focusing on ourselves instead of focusing on others. It's important to take inventory of our own feelings and see what's happening inside of us, to have this self-awareness. I think we distract ourselves away from our own being into looking on someone else's situation, behaviors, or feelings. Because if we are really in tune with our own feelings, it will take a long time. Like, it takes time for us to reflect and think and have compassion towards our own self. So negative people, again, to summarize, we want to know how to deal with them in terms of timing, ways, and understanding. So we want to see if we can avoid certain time or certain places when they are negative. We want to be in control of our own selves. We want to be in charge of our own well-being and grounding. So and setting boundaries. So if someone is being negative, whining, complaining, okay, let's discuss. How can we make this better? If they don't have a solution and they don't want to take responsibility of their own feelings, then I think it's about time to give them a space to think about it for themselves, and then take care of our own self. We don't want to be sucked in someone else's negativity. It's not our job, absolutely not, to fix someone else's feelings. We need to have that clear in our mind. And if it's clear in our mind, so we are not responsible for someone else's feelings. Of course, we are not going to harm people or hurt people and go around, say bad things to people. I'm not saying that. But we are not responsible of someone else's own internal feelings. If they have an issue with us, they can come and discuss in an objective way. And the goal will be of the discussion is to find a solution and resolution, to live in peace or to have a positive interaction. If the goal of the conversation is not that, then we need to discuss why. And if it's not the right time, we might do it or discuss it later on. But the ultimate goal is that we are responsible for our own well-being, and we are responsible of our own grounding, no one else's. And we have the responsibility to leave negative people at bay and have strict boundaries, so we won't let this negativity to creep inside of us. It's important to understand that, and it's important to take charge of our own feelings. I hope you enjoyed this live. If you like it, go ahead, please hit like and share it. If you would like to contact me, you can do so by leaving me a comment, contact me via Messenger, or email me via my professional page. And I hope you enjoyed it. Until I talk to you next time, I wish you a wonderful rest of the day.